are still selected. And then I'll still hold my control key down, scroll up, make sure those are, press open. And so what I meant by made sure they all merged correctly, since these photos are taken in a light exposure, dark exposure, and normal, sometimes the Aurora software will combine these photos. If one's a really dark photo, just all three of them can sometimes be merged with another photo. That's fine. I can show you how to fix that. It's a very easy fix, so don't freak out. But when they merge, it's a conjumbled looking photo that does not look like a normal photo. So you'll know what I mean. But all of these seem to be grouping well together, because you'll see that they're all grouped together. If they're not, all of these might be in one photo merge together. So if we run across that in the next three photos, next three houses, I will show you how to fix that. So then we'll go to continue. Now, since we're doing outside, we'll go to HDR look exterior, browse. We're going to still save it to the same folder, and then we'll go to process. So 0 out of 3 images being processed. And it should start popping up. I always just watch to make sure it's working. It does take a second, because there we go. See? So it is working. So I will pause this, let this run. This won't take half as long, but still. Okay, so now the outside photos have done merging. The batch completed successfully. Go over here, check. Everything looks good to go. So what we do is we merge all photos before we start editing. It just takes a lot of, I don't know, juice, whatever, out of the computer. And so it takes super long if you're going between Lightroom and Aurora. So I just like to merge all of the photos all at once, especially if I'm doing the night before editing, to get that out of the way, just because it is such a lengthy process. So what I would do next, I'm going to go to my second house that was shot on this memory card. I'm going to go to batch processing, browse, go to working. The next house on my shoot schedule list is 7601 North Westminster Road. I'm going to click that. And then obviously you can do exterior or interior first, since I already have it on exterior settings. I'm going to choose exterior to merge first. Select the first exterior photo, press shift, click this one, press control so that I don't select any of the interior photos. Still hold my control key down, select all of these, open, let these load. All right. So those are all loading. I make sure that all of them have loaded on here before I press continue. Okay. So there we go. So we're going to continue still on the HDR look exterior. Now we're going to change where the photos are going, because they're obviously not going to be going to the other house. That would get confusing. We're going to go to open house OK, working, select 7601 North Westminster Road, make new folder, editing, because we will be editing these photos. Select that, press OK, and then process. So another thing, I make sure I keep this up just to make sure nothing's going into this folder, because that would be bad and confusing, and then you're going to be sending wrong photos to the wrong realtor. So that'd be embarrassing. So then I go to working, 7601 North Westminster Road. This is clearly the house that we just selected the exteriors for. I go to editing, select extra large icons, and there we go. They are already starting to merge into that folder. So I'll pause this, let those work, and then we'll go to interior. Okay, so now we can see that the exteriors have been done. I go to batch processing, browse. Now we do the interiors. Shift, select the first photo of the interior, scroll down to the very end of the last interior photo. Select that, press open. We'll let that load. So that'll take a second. So this is going to be like the longer one that takes forever because obviously there's more photos, but you get the idea. Yes, this one's going to take a while, so that's okay. So you'll see these are all loading. I'm trying to see if there's any that are gonna combine, but it doesn't look like it. But if that, again, if that comes up in the next house or this one, I'll show you how to fix it, or come up with one just to make it do it, and then I'll show you how to fix it. But see how just this is the light exposure, dark, and then this one's gonna be the normal. It'd be if they all kind of came up pretty dark and then accidentally merged with the ones in front, then it would just be these two rooms merged all together, which you can guess would look a little distorted. So it's pretty obvious once you get in Lightroom which ones have done that. So sometimes it's easy to miss when you're doing this. Okay, so all of these are ready to go, so we'll press continue. Then remember we're doing interior photos, so we'll go to realistic interior, choose that. Obviously it's still going to the same house, so then we'll just press process. So it'll be 40 images that's going to merge. We'll go to this house, double check, go to this folder, double check that it's the correct house. It is. And so we'll just wait for the first one to start merging and show up in there, so we know that it's working and doing what it's supposed to do. And there we go. So I'll pause this recording, let these merge, and then we'll do the last house. Okay, so this one just finished. So I'll go through, double check everything. Looks good. And then we'll do one more set of the third house. Again, we'll go to browse. The third house on my shoot sheet says 6012 Southeast 84th Street, so we'll click on that one. I'll go ahead and select all the interior photos because that's what we did last. Obviously, you can do it however you want. If you want to do interior photos every time first, that's totally fine. Whatever works for you. Just make sure to set the setting and remember to do that. Yes, so I'll let these load. Oh, those loaded quick. Oh, still. So I'll go to continue. It'll load. Okay, so ready to go. Obviously, I just selected all the interior photos, so we'll keep that realistic interior. For the look, I'm going to save it to a new folder because this is a new house. So always remember to make sure that you're putting it in the correct folder and that you switch it when you get to a new house. So I clicked this PC, the C drive, open house OK, working, and then go to 6012 Southeast 84th. I make a new folder after I select it. So we make the subfolder. Again, we name it editing because we'll be editing these pictures after they merge. So that's a good way to remember it. Click that. Make sure that saves to editing. Sometimes when the computer is going slow, it takes a second, but should be good to go. Okay. And so editing, I press OK. Interior look, going to the right house, process. And then, so it'll start saying that it's processing. I go to the new folder, which is 6012 Southeast 84th. I go to the editing folder, click the large icon to view it, and then I wait for the first photo to pop up to make sure that they're all going to the correct folder and not going to the last one. It is. So I'll pause this, let these run, and then this will be the end of our merging the photos video. So this is what the batch processing will look like before you know it's about to be done. So it'll say 31 out of 32 images processed. And then it'll pop up in blue saying that it's been successfully processed. So it's going to take longer than I thought it was. Okay, so 32 out of 32. We're on the last one. Again, remember it's merging 3 photos together. So batch completed successfully. Go over here, check everything. It doesn't look like anything was merged accidentally together. And then we'll do one more of the outside for this house, and then we'll be done and ready to move on to actually editing the photos. So I never merged these. There's no reason to. We're not going to edit them. It's just to help separate the houses at the beginning. So I always just leave those alone. Again, shift key, select, then I press control for the bottom to select those, open, let those load. Okay, so these are successfully loaded. I'm going to press continue. Remember to click, I'm doing the outside, so click HDR look exterior, going to the same house because we're just doing the outsides for the same house. It'll process. I'll go to this house folder to watch and make sure that the exteriors start merging into this house, and then I'll pause it and let these run really quick. It's 10 photos, so it shouldn't take too long, but just depends on how much it is to merge, how long it takes. So, all right, they're going to the right folder, so I'll pause this and then let these run. Okay, so these are done editing. I click back to Aurora, check these, looks like everything went smoothly. So then I will exit out of Aurora because we don't need to leave that up while we're editing because that'll just take too much space. Click out of there, and then this concludes the merging process of photo editing. So